to share a shortcut that lots of interior designers use when they are looking to set a color palette for a room. And it is using a rug to set the color palette. One of the things that sets a space apart that's been done by an interior designer is that you can tell the color palette is set with intention. And a rug is a really easy way to do that for yourself. One of the reasons it's easy for an interior designer to set a color palette off of a rug is because a lot of thought goes into the colors that make up the rug. I want to show you some other rooms have been done using the rug to set the color palette, because sometimes the easiest way to see it is to see rooms where this has been done well. I'm going to start off with the dining room. This dining room has a really gorgeous red rug, and you can see how they've used the rug. They've pulled it into the flowers, the drapes, and the artwork. And then they've accented with touches of an oatmeal color for the dining room chairs and the walls. In this living room, you can see the rug is blue and an oatmeal and brown color, and they've used that palette throughout the room. They've got touches of blue in the throw pillows. They've got an oatmeal couch. And in this case, they didn't use the walls to help with the color palette. It's mostly happening in the rug. Here's a bedroom that has a rug that has a lot of red, brown, and black. And you can see they've carried the red through onto the walls. They've got touches of black in a lot of the furnishings. One thing to notice when you look at all these pictures is the colors are not used evenly. There's one predominant color, and then there's secondary colors. And that's something that your eye really likes to see. It doesn't like to see everything 50-50. Now here's an example of a rug in a kid's room. The color palette in this room is blue and cream and has touches of red. So blue is the predominant color. It's used in a lot of the fabrics and the walls. Now you might be wondering, do I have to have a colorful rug to set my color palette off the rug? No. Here's an example of a neutral apartment where the rug is all different neutral tones. And the important thing in a neutral space is that you want lots of different textures and different shades of neutral colors. I did a previous video about 6 things that every neutral room needs to feel warm and cozy, and this room has it all. In my own living room, I've used my rug to set the color palette. It's got lots of blues and reds, and the rug even has green, but I didn't use the green. You don't have to use every color that's in the rug in your room somewhere. Here's an example of a really gorgeous green and brown rug that's being used to drive the color palette of this room. They pulled the green through and put it on the walls and a couple of the pieces of furniture. And then they've used the brown sofa with some really great plaid pillows that pick up both of the colors. The last thing I want to do is show you how you can try out the rug that you're considering to make it work with your color palette. And here's an example of one that I did for someone else who wanted a rug that had a lot of pinks and creams and gray. So we tried out the rug on a mood board, and then we tried to see what furniture will draw out the color palette that's being used in the rug. So in this case, the sofa she already had was neutral, but we wanted to pick up the gray in a chair and some pillows. I would also add a throw blanket that had some gray in it. And then we've used the pink on the curtains. And so that distributes the pink and gray and cream throughout the room. But this is something that you could do for yourself using Canva. If you're having trouble choosing a rug for your space, I did a separate video that talks about how to get the right size for any room and the right material that will work for your budget.